So what do you think? Where will you land on your decision to subscribe to Mevo Pro? Are you going to continue to use just the free services, or will you be using multi-streaming and the other pieces that it allows enough to justify your subscription? I'm Jason Hoffman. My goal is to help you have the confidence to just press go live. Today we're talking about the changes made, the announcements given across social media about the Mevo ecosystem. And there are a ton of things floating around the Mevo customer group, through their Discord server, in all the places where people are gathering to talk. A lot of things are being said about the new additions to the Mevo ecosystem, including a subscription plan that will unlock some things about what you can do with the Mevo ecosystem of software and hardware. So let's go ahead and list what we're talking about. We're looking at the Mevo single cam app having something new based on that subscription model we said. We're looking at the Mevo multicam app having several things that are available to it. We're talking about a newly titled app, the Mevo Go app, which was built on the Mevo Mic app. And there's some controversy about that one. We'll try to sort through it a little bit, but the idea there is that the Mevo Go app is going to be what unlocks the ability to bring other sources into the multicam app. And that means we have the ability to bring in local video files, pre-roll, announcements, sponsorships, those kinds of things, and use our smartphone as a camera source into multicam through the Mevo Go app. That one does require a subscription to the Mevo Pro, the other new announcement, Mevo Pro subscription. Now, Mevo Pro is built alongside or on top of all the other software they have, so it fits seamlessly with the Mevo Multicam app. It fits seamlessly with the Mevo Single Cam app, but it doesn't restrict the use of what you're used to with single cam or multicam, with one glaring exception. You may be one of those who used the Mevo Mic app, free software while it was available, for input, audio input into your live stream. Now, I will say this, for more than one Mevo Mic device, you used to be required to have a Vimeo subscription, and then they removed that restriction so that you could use the Mevo Mic app at will. And then we saw Logitech buy Mevo. And we had to know that as a much larger company bought out this smaller company, we would see some things that would be for the monetization of everything they offered. It's just the way larger companies seem to do business, for better or for worse. That's where we are. So let's talk through some of this. Now, my setup today includes, through the Mevo Multicam app, one Mevo Start that I'm talking to now, one iPhone that's running the Mevo Go app as a camera source, audio and video source, and then I've brought in one iPad that is screencasting through Mevo Go. The audio is all being run through my iPad that is my control device. Everything else is turned off as far as audio goes. I'm also recording on an iPhone next to it so that I have a picture here that I can pull in for the editing of this video. It's not for the demonstration purposes at all. Let's start with Mevo Multicam. What has changed and what has remained the same. So I'll pull up multicam on this extra iPad that is screencasting in. Okay, so if you're used to multicam but you haven't looked at it in a while, this is a different screen from what you were used to. And so we have the ability to add an asset, camera, graphics, that's going to be your overlays. You have the ability to put picture in picture, which is an incredibly valuable tool in the hands of those who may want to run a scoreboard with a sports stream, and they've got two cameras to do so with. It's also very, very nice for those who are streaming worship, because it's going to allow folks to put some lyrics or some scripture verses or just an alternative view of things that are happening on the platform in view that you're streaming. So multicam gives camera, graphics, picture in picture, and then there's an audio menu here that does in fact list the different audio inputs that you might have. Obviously, I'm running all of my inputs right now through my other iPad, so there's nothing populated there. This is just to show you the basics of the of the software itself. And then you see a Mevo Pro section. The Mevo Pro section is going to be where the subscription-based features are tucked away. So I can tap on Mevo Go in the Mevo Pro section. It takes me through a getting started explanation, how to load it on your other smartphone or your other device. And then you can see the devices that are available or found as long as you are on the same network as the device, control device and other devices on the same network, and it's running Mevo Go, you're going to be able to find those devices in this section. So even though I'm already connected to them through another instance of multicam on a different iPad, they are showing up. So you can see that I have those too. Now, the software has just been released, so there are a few things that we're finding that don't exactly work as intended. For example, what's running on this iPad that's the first in the list here is actually the screencast, not the video and audio. What's running on the iPhone Mevo Go instance is actually video and audio, not screencast. So they both say video and audio, even though one is actually running the screencast portion of Mevo Go. Showing you what the Mevo Go app looks like as we're screencasting this iPad, you can see video and audio, which is basically camera, microphone. You see screencast, which is anything that comes across your screen. So you can be running a video, you can be running a web page, you can be running anything that you want from your device into the multicam app through screencast. And then you have just the ability to do audio through the remote mic, which is the legacy part of it. We'll back out of that and get back into multicam. The legacy part of Mevo Mic is the sticking point for a lot of folks, because they say, well, you're taking things away from us. And granted, I understand that idea, but to the credit of the folks at Mevo, Logitech for creators, Mevo, whatever you want to say there, I remember when I had to have a Vimeo subscription, which unlocked multi-streaming. By the way, Mevo Pro unlocks multi-streaming in this scenario as well. Vimeo unlocked multi-streaming, but it was also necessary if I was going to use graphical overlays, which I thought was ridiculous. Mevo finally broke free from that and offered graphical overlays as free. And by the way, graphical overlays are still free. They haven't put that behind the pay part, but there is a ton of research and development. There's a ton of testing. There are hundreds and thousands of hours put into giving these new features, and recouping a cost for that is not unfair. For a lot of folks, it feels unfair to have access to the Mevo Mic app and then be pulled and put behind a paywall. I won't argue that part of it. I just want folks to know that this is a business. We're doing business with a business, and if you don't need the ability to multi-stream, to stream to multiple destinations at one time, you don't have to have the subscription, but you're not going to get the features of bringing your iPhone or another device into your stream as an input to multicam. It is still on the timeline for Mevo to bring in local pre-roll, local video files to be put into your live stream. I don't know how that will play into Mevo or Mevo Pro, the subscription part, but that is still on the list of things that will be included in multicam and should be coming soon, which is the joke we've been saying for those of us who've been around for years about Mevo's timeline. It's always coming soon. We have the Mevo Pro, which unlocks the ability to multi-stream natively from the Mevo multicam app. Then we have the Mevo Go app, which is behind the wall of having to pay for the Mevo Pro subscription, and it's going to turn your mobile device into a Mevo camera source in multicam. So that brings us to the Mevo Go screen share part, which allows you to take anything from your screen and cast it onto multicam into your live stream as you go on the fly. And then there's the remote mic. In Mevo Multicam, in the Mevo Pro section, there's also an NDI inputs beta. So if you were to run NDI tools on your computer, you would be able to run it in as a source to your live stream. If you have a PTZ cam that has NDI built in, you can run that in as a source, and then all of a sudden you've got that pan, tilt, zoom, and you may have a 20 or 30x PTZ optical zoom, and you've got an incredible camera to add into multicam streaming, not just your live stream, but specifically multicam streaming, which is an incredible tool. And according to the information that they are producing right now, media playback is on the current roadmap for multicam to be able to play video files directly in the Mevo multicam app from your device. So to try to summarize the things you can or can't do with Mevo multicam or single cam app, as they are a free app that can be downloaded from your local app store, if you want to stream to multiple destinations or use the Mevo Go app, you're going to need to pay for the subscription. Everything else that you're used to doing is all still free, with the exception of that one instance of Mevo Mic app. That's the one piece that they took and tucked behind the paywall. So if you want multiple locations, if you want the Mevo Go app to add in screencast or another camera via your smartphone, or the Mevo Mic app through a device, you're going to need to have the subscription. But that's not all that subscription unlocks. So you also have in that $19.99 month by month pay, or about $15 if you pay it for a year in advance. You also have a subscription to Melon Pro, which means desktop streaming with your Mevo stuff. You have the Willow Pro, the Oslo Pro, and the Cross Clip Pro subscriptions built into what you're paying for the Mevo Pro subscription. So those are all great tools that Logitech is pushing, no doubt. It's part of their bigger ecosystem that includes more than just Mevo, and maybe they're worth exploring to see if the dollar figure matches up for what you're trying to do. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you want to stick with just using as many cameras, Mevo Start cameras, as you can load into multicam. Maybe you want to continue to use just your control device as a microphone, which you can do. That doesn't require the Mevo Go app or the Mevo Legacy Mevo Mic app. You can still use your device as an input for audio, the control device I'm talking about. Maybe that's the way you want to continue to run. You can still use all the features of the single cam app with the exception of multi-streaming and Mevo Mic, and those are all still free. So what do you think? Where will you land on your decision to subscribe to Mevo Pro? Are you going to continue to use just the free services, or will you be using multi-streaming and the other pieces that it allows enough to justify your subscription?